Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking about the 1.14 update, also known as the Aquatic update, and this was in the Minecon Earth livestream. I didn't go, because I couldn't. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about it since there were a bunch of interesting things said in it, and I just wanted to speculate a little bit on all the additions that they're going to be adding in it. So when Will Arnett and Jens Bergensen started talking about 1.14, Jens brought up a bunch of different features. The first one being bubble columns, which looks like you put magma blocks underwater and they create like just bubble columns. So apparently, items will now float. Now, I'm thinking that different items will have different densities, and then some items will float, some will sink. I think that would be really cool, because then books, like enchanted books, they floated, and rods, like fishing rods, would sink. That means whenever we make fishing farms, we could organize the items more efficiently, which means that we could have only books and no fishing rods and non-stackable items. Next up is the trident, which I'm not too fond of, but then I realized we don't really have very many weapons in Minecraft, which I think the trident probably would be one of the better ones, but since it is the aquatic update, I guess it makes sense, and since it's like the trident, it's pretty important, so loyalty. The enchantment that you can put onto it sounds really amazing. The only thing I wonder is if this can be achieved with arrows, and I think it would be really funny if you did it with arrows, then the arrows would come back and hit you. I think that would be really funny, and for all of those people who just pick out a bow and they just go with it, it'd be really funny to just see them shocked at the arrow coming right back to them. That'd be hilarious. And Riptide could be another way of traveling. It's another enchantment that you can put on the trident. So it can also be used when raining, which I think is pretty cool. So I think what would be even cooler is if you got struck by lightning when you're using your Riptide in the air, like you're just flying along with your Riptide and your trident. If you got struck by lightning, your trident gets something added to it or removed from it. Something happens to your trident or something like that. Like, yeah, your trident gets like an electric charge or something that can like harness the power of a charged creeper or something. The one that definitely got me most excited was the coral kelpin fish. I'm really excited because everyone, whenever this happened, was thinking, I'm gonna make an aquarium. And whenever the update comes out, that's what the first thing I'm gonna do. Um, but so Jen said that the common fish like salmon, pufferfish, clownfish, and then he also talked about tropical fish would be there. So that means we might get new fish. Well, actually, we definitely will get new fish because I think they might actually remove the regular fish. I think it'll be like all specific types of fish. Now, I'm hoping that there'll be such fish like tangs and just all types of tropical fish. I want many of them. And a bunch of I think some fish can survive in some environments and some can't. A tank of ice with a little bit of water in there could be good for some fish. And then maybe like with bubble columns, you could have a bubble column tank and then you could stick the fish in there and then they'll be the hot ones. And then you could have some fish that are like really deep in the ocean and you need a deep tank for them. And then there's some that, like, I hope there's a manta ray. Like, I want a real manta ray. Mob B looks a lot like a manta ray, but it's not a manta ray. So, that's pretty cool. Oh, and kelp looks amazing, and coral looks amazing, just saying that. I'm not going to talk about the new water physics a bunch. The main idea is that it's basically a door. So, some areas will be opened, some will be closed. We just have to deal with what we got. The ocean terrains are going to be really cool. I have a bunch of terrains in mind, but there's the iceberg ocean, which he talks about. There's probably going to be the coral reef biomes and stuff like that. But there could be an underwater volcano. I say this because there are the bubble columns, which you could put inside like a little mound and it'll look like a volcano. And it'll make sense since the bubbles are coming from that. Kelp forests would also be pretty good. Dolphins help players to find treasure, but it would also be cool if occasionally they would trick the player into dying, like taking them to an underwater volcano if they're going to make those. Mob B was the winner of the 4-mob voting thing, but I wouldn't like to talk about Mob B because we can talk about them later. Mob A was probably my actual favorite. It would have matched perfectly with the Aquatic update, but now that I know that it's the Aquatic update, I think it would be too much. Mob C, I hated. It was just, I mean, enchanting things would be cool, but we already have like 2 ways of enchanting already. Mob D was a retexture of a place and it wasn't even creative!